Welcome back to another episode of Nomads and Nimbleshadow podcast, trading the high-stress life of first responders for a life of adventure on the road. This podcast is brought to you by Kendra, a retired police officer, and her husband Sean, a retired public safety officer. They have been on the road full-time in their Airstream since August 9th, 2025. Traveling with them is their service dog, Django, Aloysius, Delicious, McJefferson, PhD the 6th. Let's get this thing started.
We have an official audience of 0 because we haven't released anything, and I'm a little worried that once we release it, we'll realize this is a bad idea.
I'm having fun with it. I mean, at the end of the day, most nights we sit and just kind of talk to a microphone, but we're really looking at each other and talking to each other. That's nice, right?
Yeah.
Sharing memories.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone's going to want to listen to our
That's okay.
memories, but
That's all right.
we'll try.
Yeah.
We have fun highlights.
I'm sure by now everybody knows who we are and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But we've been in the Airstream now since August 9th, and today is September 22nd? 21st? 22nd. So we are doing well. 6 weeks in. It's not getting old yet.
Yeah, I think it's easier than now that it was in the beginning because we were still working stuff out.
Like what? What did we work out?
A routine, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like setup, breakdown routine, and then what to do during the day and what to do during the night. And I think we're just sort of settling into our little habits like old people, like 5 o'clock Wapner's on. Wapner's on at 5. I think
Is
we're...
that from Rain Man?
Yeah. It wasn't 5 though. I think it was something else. So I do like it, and I do like consistency like my son. I like to know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were living day to day of like, we're going to drive away and we have no idea where we're going, I wouldn't like that. I want a purpose, a little purpose.
Purpose?
A little goal, a baby goal. I'm not just going to turn left and then hope for the, I don't know. Tomorrow, yeah. Well, anyway.
You're just not as spontaneous. You're not as spontaneous. You like a little bit of predictability, like a little bit of control.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, what are we doing?
Spontaneity makes you uncomfortable.
What are we doing? But I think I'm a lot more spontaneous than other people that have, like their routines and would never do this because we're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, we're definitely crazy. We explored the bowling alley today. You're in Lebanon.
Lynn County Bowling. It's called Lynn Lanes.
Lynn Lanes.
Clever, guys.
Yeah.
Clever. Cheryl, I got to give you some props. Cheryl was there.
Cheryl was great.
She had, dude, everybody listen to this. This lady, obviously a local, dressed a little bit up, come to the lanes. She had 2 of her own personal balls, 2 custom-made balls, and she was killing it. She was killing it. Like 300's like unreachable for us, but she was like strike, 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 and then crazy spare, and then strike. And she was good.
That's so cool. She obviously has practiced a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe she played in high school and college or something.
Maybe.
I think bowling is one of those, like, they have plenty of scholarships and not enough people to give them to.
Sure.
Bowling and golf are the 2, I think, that are like the most unclaimed scholarships.
Man. I got to get my daughters back in school.
Get them in bowling.
No, I like your golf one better than bowling.
Yeah. And then the other thing we accomplished today is we finally picked the
Oh, yeah.
design colors for the next
Guys, it's
box.
overwhelming for 2 people with ADHD to look through a box of samples.
And not just like I don't know if you're picturing like a cute little handful of samples.
No.
There's probably 1,000 different samples on this like long chain loop. I mean, it's so heavy you can't even like leave them on. You have to make piles of like 50, even like 10, 20 piles.
And what's the math on the possibilities of how many possibilities are out there? Of 2 billion, 200 billion?
Probably.
So where do you start? Do you start with listen to us. Do you start with a backsplash or By the way, everybody, this is the very first time I've ever in my entire life picked backsplash. I'm 52 years old. Plenty of you have picked backsplash before. This was my first time. Is this your first time picking backsplash?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna make fun of myself, but we're picking. How's douchey? But we're picking backsplash for the water box. And where do you start? Do you start with the countertop? Do you start with the floor, the cabinets, the back? What do you do? So we decided.
Where do you focus your primary colors, right? Like, what are you trying to match it to?
Because if your floor is gray and you want wood cabinets and the tabletop's zebra, like it's not going to work. So we needed people with some style, and I know a couple people that are our friends that are really good with style.
Yeah.
And shout out to them, but
they're not here.
But they're not here, so we struggled through it. But our theme is going to be gray because obviously we can't go wood once something goes gray.
I mean, you can.
We're gonna have color somewhere.
Yeah, we want more of a gray color than a brown.
What's that book called? 1,000 Shades of Gray. That's what our truck is. 50 Shades of Gray. That's what our truck is. So we're gonna try to get some blue on the wall somewhere or something.
Yeah. Every bedroom we've ever had, in any of the houses we've lived in, we've always had blue on the walls. Yeah. Always. So it's a tradition.
Okay. I mean, what if it's gonna be burgundy?
No, we meant to be blue.
Purple. Yeah, blue's good. Okay, I like it.
Yeah. Yesterday we talked about most memorable vacations, and that was super fun. Today I wanted to ask you about your most memorable work-related event.
God, I have so many, but I don't know what's the most memorable. Okay, I have a lot of cool, amazing, memorable stories, but I'm going to do with this one because it was the first wake-up call I've ever gotten in my life. I was a police officer for probably, how long is FTO? Like 8 weeks?
No, it's like 12, 16 weeks, I think.
Okay. Freshly out of FTO, which is your field training program, you get passed. A lot of people fail through that portion. You get another job. When you get past that and you're released as a solo beat officer, which is a big, big, big deal. And then I was assigned to a senior Southside team in a bad neighborhood, but I didn't think that there was nothing I couldn't handle in a bad neighborhood.
What was the street? Do you remember?
The call that I went to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I remember the case number, but I don't remember the street. I don't remember. Edge Court. I think it was Edge Court, but I know exactly where it was. Anyway, I don't make this story too long. I was getting pretty confident, not ahead of myself, but pretty confident that I could handle most of the calls we'd seen so far. I didn't want to make anybody upset. I didn't want to make any waves. And I was actually attached to late swings. So late swings is a supplement patrol point that goes after 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
No, I think. Well, I don't know when I worked.
6 to. Like I can't remember.
I think it was 6 to 4.
Oh, okay. That sounds better. 6 to 4. Mm-hmm. So you're helping out swings and you're helping out midnights as they go out there, and it's a pretty small team, but it's pretty cool to be on that. Was pretty awesome. So I was dispatched. Actually, when I first logged on, there was a call pending in my beat, X-ray 1, and it had been pending for an hour. And the other people were coming out there, and I wanted to make sure that it got handled. It was in my beat. It had been pending for an hour. It was a 911 hang-up, which are accidental, and I wanted to get that taken care of. So my beat partner, Brian Mank, was much more senior to me. I actually didn't even know him until later. And he was on his way from the department. What do you call it? PAB?
PAB, yeah.
I keep calling it headquarters. From PAB. So it was a 911 call, and in that neighborhood there was a high Indian population, and the world area code to get out of United States and into another area code for India was 0911, wasn't it? Was it?
Yes.
It was 0911.
Something like that.
So
or
I
991 or something like that.
It was very similar to 911, and you got chronic 911 hang-ups from that area. I'd known because I'd worked out there, in my mind, a lot, but not really, but enough to experience, like, I've been out there before. It was a 911 hang-up. It's probably an Indian family. I'll go squash it and get it off the queue because there's this long list of calls that are pending. So I'm waiting for my other partner. So I get out there. I climb up to the third story. It's kind of hard to find. Like, it's, you have building numbers in G and 311 and all that kind of stuff. And then you get up to the third story, and I knew my fill officer was en route. I knew he was en route, so I knew he'd be there pretty soon. I knock on the door, and I knock a couple times. You hear the music get turned down, and then the door cracks open just a little bit, and a male kind of looks through the window or the door and says, "Yeah, can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a 911 call." Now, let me stop you right there. This is my first wake-up call in my life. You know how people talk about their hair raising in the back of their neck?
Right.
I never had any of that. I don't have that. I didn't have that until this moment.
Oh, but you did get it in this moment.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. No, I didn't get. I've
Oh,
never
I see.
got. Not until after this call have I gotten that before, because I never experienced somewhere where I could have died. Like, I'm reading about,
yeah.
as a police officer you could die, but
now you've experienced.
now I'm actually living in this second right now. So
Yeah.
other police officers or other people that had more experience, or the hair that raises in the back of their neck, would have known something isn't right off the bat. I didn't know that because I was so young. So a guy pokes his head out. He's like 20 years old, and I explain it. He puts his head back in, comes to the door again. He's like, "Yeah, sorry, it was an accident. Everything's fine." And I'm thinking, as a good police officer, well, I know I'm supposed to say I need to make sure that everybody's okay inside, because sometimes domestic violence happens. Somebody calls in. It's a no-brainer. I got to check it out. But I look kind of behind my shoulder. My partner's not here yet. It shouldn't be a big deal. It was probably an accident, right? Talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
So opens the door, steps aside. There's a guy standing in the kitchen, very nervous. My right, so I'm still have the exit, and my safety is my exit, and there's two people in front of me. I don't know the rest of the house. What I noticed in the back of my head that I didn't think about later is they were playing PlayStation. PlayStation hadn't been introduced in America yet. PlayStation was in Japan, so you had to be really rich to be playing PlayStation.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. They looked nervous. Door opens to my right. A younger kid, 18-year-old, out, is shocked to see a police officer in the kitchen, tries to go back in the bathroom, knows that looks stupid, and then just tries to play it off and comes out. "Hey, what's going on?" And I say, "I'm here investigating a 911. Did anyone hang up? Did anyone call? Is everything okay here?" And they say, "Yeah, everything's great."
Oh my gosh, they're so nervous.
Behind in the kitchen, one of the cabinets has been kicked in, broken, and one of the hinges above him in another cabinet's been pulled down. So I'm like, in my back of my mind, a little teeny tiny voice, "Is this a burglary? What's happening? Like, something is not right here." The only thing I can't see in the entire house is the room behind them has an open door. And now I'm afraid domestic violence, or they hurt somebody, and there's somebody back there that's hurt. Not there's somebody back there that can hurt me because I'm stupid.
Here comes save the day.
No. I mean, like, nobody. I'm a police officer now. I'm bulletproof. So the weirdest thing ever happened. So I said, "Who's in the room behind you guys?" And they said, "Nobody. Nobody sleeps in there. We sleep out here." Okay, that's weird. Before I could put two and two together. By the way, my field officer is somehow still in the back of my mind going to arrive in any second, and he doesn't, and that's okay. I get it. As I switch places with one of the guys so I can have my back to the cabinet and not them, they all three run out the door, which was completely confusing to me, because if this is their apartment, why are they leaving their own apartment?
You know something's up.
So something is up.
Yeah.
So then I put it out. So then, like, it's a busy night. There's I don't remember what day of the week it is, but I'm waiting for dispatch, and I say, "They just ran out the front door." And she's like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" "Oh, I went inside for a 911 hang up. They just ran out the front door." So now people want to know what they look like. What's the want?
Right.
What is happening? And I don't have any answers.
no answers.
I am completely over my head. I have
You're
no
overwhelmed.
I'm like,
Your
what
loop
is
on.
happening? In that house, well, I hope, gosh, can I say this now? I mean, I guess I can, right?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Okay, that was a stash house for a cartel,
Oh yeah.
and they were sitting on 66 pounds of meth, and they had 3 automatic weapons next to the meth in that room.
Oh my God.
There
In
was
the room
there was a
behind-
Mac 10.
Okay.
There was a Mac 10 and then 2 other automatic rifles that weren't AR, so I don't remember what they were. Probably Uzi and a Mac 10 and a whole bunch of rounds. And then in the fridge was 9 pounds of marijuana, and they were just paid to sit there and eat junk food and play PlayStation while they cooled off. And an hour before, the girlfriend got in a 415 with him and said, "All right, well, fuck you," and then dialed 911 and hung up and left.
Oh, I was wondering about
Yeah.
that part. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a very lucky to be alive,
Yeah.
dumb young officer, and we had to freeze the scene, which was new to me too. They had to call all the narco guys back. It was Christmas.
Oh.
It was Christmas Eve or Christmas. It was their Christmas party. 003560873 is the case number, and I had to call all the NCI guys back because San Jose hadn't seen a case that big. I mean, not without some big case, but like it wasn't. That was the first 911 walk-in like that for a long time. So
Yeah.
66 pounds of meth, 3 guns. Suspects are all outstanding because of me. So here's this young, stupid, dumb cop who just,
Right.
you dummy. And I remember Joe Unlin's brother, Jim Unlin,
Jim. Yeah.
the older one, Joe,
Yeah.
was the sergeant that came, and he said, "You are one dumb motherfucker, but you're lucky to be alive."
Joe is great.
And the only reason that search warrant you're going to write is going to work is because you're that dumb and such a young officer that the judge is going to understand what happened, because nobody else is going to believe that you just happened to knock on the door and get
Right.
66 pounds.
Right.
So that's the most memorable because
You learned a lot of lessons.
I learned a lot of lessons. I remember calling my first wife and saying, "I made a big mistake, and I'm lucky to be calling you right now because I could have easily been taken hostage."
I'm sure.
Right, like what were they doing? And if I tell that story to anybody now and anybody who's listening is like, "You're so stupid, what were you doing?"
Yeah.
In my mind I was like, I'm
You got
just
complacent.
trying to
You
squash
got
this call.
complacent. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
complacency part that everybody, this, alarm's going to be another false alarm, another false alarm, another false alarm. I'll just go clear it up.
Yeah.
It's going to be another 911 hang up, call into India, or a kid playing with the phone, or
For sure.
batteries dying. or
Because
whatever.
99% of the time it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the problem. You gotta always be, and everybody gets complacent. We try not to. We need reminders sometimes, but we all get complacent. in
Because
some
you
ways.
really can't be on edge all the time.
Well, some people.
So you're like
can.
trying to be
Very
the
intense.
you're trying to be the fire extinguisher on your body, like, don't worry, it's not going to be the big one, just relax, it's
Right,
okay.
right.
Try to keep the stress down.
Have you ever worked with someone who is that intense the whole time? You can just say yes or no. You don't have to say
Yes.
any names, right?
Yes.
I worked around a guy like that too. Like everything was.
Bladed stance.
Yes, it's almost like when the analogy I kind of have for hoarders, right? If everything that you see and touch and bring into your home is so special, then nothing is special, right? And so it's kind of the same way when I feel like with these super, super hyper vigilant people, like if everything is such a threat to you, then how do you decipher what really is a threat? It just they feel so intense, and like their fight or flight is just in overdrive all the time.
Yeah, that's not sustainable.
And how do you argue with them? Because of course you're going to say it's like officer safety and just
Yeah, of
vigilant.
course.
And you're like, yeah, but
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And there's the happy medium between that extreme and then the narco officers that we know. We would drive by on car stops that had their ass out to the traffic with a parolee standing next to them
for
searching
sure.
a car.
Oh my god, for sure. Yep.
To get that, I got to get that gram pinch, so I'm going to have a parolee
Yeah, I remember.
stand next to me and basically help me search the car.
Oh my god, I remember.
Don't say names.
I'm not going to say names, even though you said a name in yours.
Oh, my partner?
Yeah, and all 3 suspects. You probably shouldn't say that either. But
Oh, that case has been adjudicated.
you still probably shouldn't mention their names.
my partner,
Your partner.
Brent Banks, the man.
Yeah.
I assumed a lot of things. I never talked to him. I never saw him. I assumed.
You assumed.
I assumed.
You were just thinking, oh, he's on his way. I'm sure he is, right?
Right. Yeah. That wasn't anything on him at all. Yeah.
Well, on this one, I remember I was brand new on a team just off of FTO, so first time and my academy was very strange. I always was the one person from my academy on a team. Most likely, I can't remember, maybe one or two teams my whole career. I worked with somebody who went to the academy.
Oh, right.
I was usually just sort of like this solo gal that shows up on a team, right, and nobody knows me and all that. So I remember being on that team, and there was an officer like what you're describing who ghost stops all the time. I'd be driving up and down my beat and come around the corner, and he's there. You got 3 people sitting on the curb, and he's searching a car, and he shows available, like that guy. But what do I say? I'm brand new, right? I'm brand new, but I mean, I had been with the department for 8 years prior to becoming a cop, so I had this like. More
better.
Confidence.
You know better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as dispatchers, we were trained like that.
Because he's gonna need. What if he needs help?
What if he needs help?
Who needs help?
I remember saying something, a couple smart ass things to him a couple of different times, and he and I never got along. But yeah, I just remember being like, "What's worse, right?" The guy is so hyper vigilant that everything is a threat, and that takes its toll on his physicality and his.
And the people around him.
Relationships.
And people around him.
Who work with him, right? Or the opposite, the guy who's like nothing but dangerous because he's so selfish, he just wants to get that pinch, right? And his ego won't let him look bad by making 3 stops that are nothing, right? So it's better to like make sure you have something than put it out and it sounds like you know what you're doing. This is so dangerous. That guy's worse. Because at least hypervigilant guy, he's gonna die an early death because he's so hypervigilant.
Yeah, they're both danger to themselves. Well, one's playing roulette and the other one's just playing the timer.
Yeah. What about off-duty carry? That's another one where I realized that when I was carrying off-duty, I did not like the mindset I was in. It just felt like I couldn't really relax. I had to always be aware of my surroundings. I had to be. Because of women's clothes, I usually carried it in a purse. I had to be. Yeah,
I think I was gonna lean towards that with you, because I think it's because you have to be cognizant of you're holding this tiny string with a gun in it. You have a lot of responsibility, and how am I gonna get to it, and what am I gonna do? What am I expected to do? Then I'll let you finish, and then I'll go to mine.
Oh, just after a while, I realized I didn't like that. Like I liked not having. I felt like that brought me into that like orange zone or whatever, right? Like when they did the color zones for.
Oh, you just having it made you in the orange zone?
Just having it because I felt a responsibility for like now I'm the person that has to respond to something if something happens, or, what if I set it down and go to leave it in the bathroom? I mean, there were just all these things that were just the subtext of whatever I was doing that I just didn't want to deal with that stress anymore. I didn't like it. I felt like I never could really relax and enjoy just having an off day because I had this gun. And I think maybe if I wore different clothes, where I wore it so much that you start to not notice that it's there, maybe that would. You keep doing that. It's very hard to talk to you when you're doing that. He's staring and keeps darting his eyes at the hinges of the table because they squeak. Anyway, I'm trying to have a conversation.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
That's it for
We're
me.
listening.
You and who?
Fraser.
Yeah.
Seattle, we're listening. For me, it was different because my clothing is a lot more accessible to carrying that kind of stuff. And most of the assignments I had, for the majority, mentally and physically, of my career were in plain clothes.
Yeah.
So I always had a gun on me at work.
Mentally, you were in plain clothes? Mentally, I was in plain clothes. But
No.
That's what you said.
Majority in my mind. Like, if you really broke it down, I might be wrong. But I would say a lot of my career, we'll go with that, a heavy amount of my career, I was in plain clothes while on duty. Therefore, I got used to carrying a magazine, knife, handcuff key, sometimes handcuffs, and a gun on me all the time. So on a weekend, if we were at the mall, I would probably feel weird without that kind of stuff in there because the weight's in the right place. I know where my hand's going to go. I'm not the guy that switches from a patrol holster and then all of a sudden I'm going from the rear scout position or, front of the waistband. I'm not doing any of that. So my gun was always in the same spot. I don't think I was ever in the red unless I needed to be, or orange, but a pretty high alert, whatever is below orange, like yellow. I think I was aware of stuff, but not like, get your wall to the back. God, can't even talk. Get your back to the wall, kids. There's a guy with like a bulge in his pocket. Like I was never like that, but I was like, the guy with a bulge in his pocket. I'm gonna watch him for a while, but I never did anything crazy.
True. You've never seen The Great Santini? I always think about like these intense guys that we worked around.
Oh,
That
yeah,
movie, The Great Santini.
The
Do you
Great
remember it?
Santini.
I don't think you ever saw it.
I know.
Talked about
I
it.
remember you and I talking about it. Yeah, but I did watch Whiplash, which has got to be somewhat close.
Kind of a similar concept in the sense of like kind of an abusive
Power figure.
Teacher and student in that one, but it's father son and The Great Santini. And I remember,
Is it Robert Duvall?
Yeah. Yep.
Is he the Grant Santini? Is he the kid?
Yes. No, he's
Oh, okay.
Santini.
Maybe I've seen something on it.
It's such a good movie. And anyway, I remember somebody at work telling me that's what his childhood was like.
Oh,
with
yeah.
His dad, who was a cop also, and
Yeah.
I think,
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Well, I think that father was like that because he was also in the military as well. Like a really high,
Yeah.
like a drill instructor, military guy.
Yeah. That's too much information. You're gonna have to cut that out.
Who's
It's
listening?
too
No
much
one's
identifying.
listening. Nobody's listening. My dad knew a couple drill instructors. My dad was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am. Don't worry about it.
What are you doing with your mouth? Do you have gum in there?
No.
You keep like you're tucking down a
That's
like a
my.
Zin or
That's my. No.
like a Zin pouch.
I
You get a
wish.
secret Zin pouch.
I wish.
Oh, that was hard for you. I'm so glad you quit the Zins though.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, it's gonna be good overall, long term.
So sad.
I miss them so much. Oh man.
So sad.
And it sucks. We're in Oregon. They have every flavor known to man ever.
Oh.
They have flavors I've even never heard of. Fruit Loops flavored Zins. Oh yeah, I'd like to try that.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's the nicotine. Everyone knows nicotine's. It says everywhere. It's highly addictive. Yes, it is. And like, no, it doesn't go away. Actually, it does. Right? Like, I'm not gonna punch a baby right now, but
No.
it would be
We
nice.
have talked about it a few times. Punching a baby would be nice, or a Zin would be nice.
A Zin would be,
I would punch
As-
the baby. That would be nice.
a Zin would be always nice.
Can I tell you something? Okay, this is so.
Are you gonna tell me something or everybody that's listening?
I'm telling you.
Wait a minute. Should I push
and
pause?
By default, no.
Oh.
So have you ever seen a baby that took your breath away because it was not a good-looking baby?
Well, it doesn't take my breath away, but I'm like, yeah,
You're
that's
like-
not a cute baby. Oh, yeah. I do that a lot. Yeah. Oh, she's handsome.
There was a baby like that today, this morning. I went to a certain place, and there were some babies there, and one of those babies. So when they first came in, when the mother first came in, the baby's in a car seat, eyes closed, fast asleep. I glance over, I noticed a sleeping baby. That's it. The baby woke up halfway through this event, and I had to take a double take to make sure that it was human. It was the ugliest baby. And let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it wasn't deformed or birth defects
Yes,
or anything
yes,
like
yes.
that. It just was
It was
an
an ugly baby.
Oh,
You'd be like,
so-
oh,
Yeah.
what kind of dog is that?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
what kind of baby is that?
Oh, it's such an ugly baby. Made me grateful. We had really cute little kids.
Yeah.
You think any of our kids, people said, that's an ugly baby? At any point, like, we just don't see it because we're the parents.
I mean,
I think
maybe.
Emma was pretty scrawny. She had like a kind of a big head and a scrawny body when she first came out because she overcooked.
Yeah. I just remember her cheeks, but she wasn't. None of our kids were ugly by
Well, I
any
mean,
means.
you didn't meet her until later. But I'm talking about when she was a newborn.
Yeah, no, I
When
never
was
saw her.
baby.
No, I never saw her as a newborn or pictures of her as a newborn. I just remember when I was around her, her cheeks.
Always the cheeks.
Her cheeks.
Cheeks.
What are you laughing at, Emma? All right.
My favorite giggle that always sticks out in my mind is when she bit through her tongue and had to go have
Yes.
stitches, and they had her on ketamine.
Yes.
It was kind of a
Yes.
like a Beavis and Butthead. I see it too.
Her voice got super low.
Yeah.
And there she's just watching the person have a big fish hook through her tongue and pull it out. She's just looking at it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was wild to watch that. Watch them stitch your kid's tongue.
Well, we're
She didn't
running.
do that anymore,
We're
though.
running out of time. It's 30 minutes. So you either tell the Emma bit through her tongue story, or you talk about something else at work. Your memorable story at work.
I'll finish this story and I can tell that one tomorrow or something.
The Emma one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because we transitioned to that somehow, but yeah, she had this habit of always having her tongue out when she was running or concentrating. Her dad does it.
Mm.
I was watching some of those old home videos, and her dad does it, and so it's funny to me. I don't know if that's learned or genetic, but she would stick her tongue out when she was running or concentrating or whatever.
And we tell her.
Yeah. So we get to my parents. They live in Henderson at the time. We have flown in with 3 kids, a baby and 2
kids.
toddlers. We get in late at night. We rent a minivan. We drive over there. We get in and
How do we get blocked in?
no, listen.
Oh, okay.
We rent the minivan. We pull in. We have Delaney is a baby, so we need to get her to sleep. We got to put down a playpen or a crib or whatever. So I'm working on doing that, and
It's like 11 something, right?
It's like 11 midnight, something like that. It's late. My grandmother's there, right? My grandmother is visiting, so we wake her up, unfortunately, when we come in. So I'm trying to get Delaney, and here comes Emma running towards me in the bedroom, crying really loud, and I'm scolding her. I'm like, hey, quiet, you're going to wake Delaney up. And it's at that moment when I'm saying that I realize, oh, she's really serious. Like, this isn't hurt feelings. Like, something's wrong. And so she points at her mouth. She's got her mouth closed. She points at her mouth, and I go, open up. And she opens it. All this blood pours out. And I'm like, oh, my God, right? So she had been spinning on the hardwood floor there and slipped on her socks and had her tongue out. Oh, God, that makes me just cringe thinking about it. She bit all the way through it.
Yeah.
So now I've got her. I take her to the kitchen. I'm putting ice on it. And you're like, it's probably no big deal.
Because we did that a lot. We did that kind of stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, no, we need to go to the hospital. And you were like, oh, come on. Like, let me see it. I said, show Sean. And she opens her mouth and you're like, oh, yeah, we got to go to the hospital. So now I can't find the keys because in this whole chaos, I don't know where I've set the keys. So we can't drive the minivan. So my mom's like, well, you can take our car. But we're blocking her into her garage.
And we have no car seat.
And we have no car seat because it's locked in the minivan. So we end up having to go over my mom's landscaping in her car to get in this old Lexus, right? It was the Lexus to get over to the hospital. And it was a pediatric emergency room. Super, super great. They were great.
Awesome.
Yeah, they were great. But because she had eaten, she couldn't be put under. So she had to have ketamine. And she was high as a kite.
High as a kite.
She was high as a kite. All that she said, the cartoon animals on the wall were like dancing in the air, and she saw 2 of me, giggling the whole time.
Yeah, that was a huge, almost complete dissection from the front to the back, and it went almost all the way through, if not all the way through.
Yeah, it was holding on just by a thread on either side, basically.
So the super nice PA or wherever he was awesome. He told us what he was going to do, gave her ketamine, and then she's high, and then he just takes a giant fish hook, pulls her tongue all the way out, and there's this disgusting, huge hole.
Yeah.
And he just starts sewing her tongue up, and Emma's just staring at him.
Yeah, and now I'm getting kind of woozy because I'm watching it going,
I
oh my
love it.
God.
Yeah, it's great.
And
And that was that same trip Logan was afraid of matches?
I don't think so because my grandmother was staying in that room. My grandmother wasn't there when Logan was afraid of matches, but yeah.
Okay.
Logan was afraid of but my mom collects matchbooks, old matchbooks, and she has this giant jar, gallon size or 2 gallon size jar with a cork on it that has matches, and he would not sleep in that room.
Well, I mean,
He thought they were going to catch on fire, right?
yeah.
We learned later. We didn't know what the problem was, but
Yeah.
I think he did tell us he was afraid of the matches, but we didn't understand later why.
Like you tell the kids something about a match can cause a forest fire or burn down your house.
Right.
That every match from that point on is either dangerous or exciting.
Yeah.
And his was very dangerous. He was scared of it.
Poor Loki.
Good job, Logie. All right.
What's your pet peeve of the day?
My pet peeve is that I'm picky with my food now. I'm 52 years old, and when I want a hamburger, I want it to be a good hamburger. I don't want to waste time on my meals. We saw a little food cart today, and one of them, food trucks, and one of them was Indian food, and I haven't had Indian food in a long time.
A few weeks at least.
Probably a month. And I'm like, okay, we're in Oregon. Let's try out the Indian food. And it looked authentic. She was a pretty, I thought, doesn't have anything to do with her being pretty. There was a young employee there that looked like she may be culturally aligned with the truck. East Indian. She looked East Indian. And I said, is the butter chicken have chicken thighs or chicken breast? And I want the answer to be thighs because I like thigh meat better. She says, thighs. I said, excellent. I will give you my $19 for that. And I want it to be extra spicy. No problem. You were not interested and you went to get Greek food. You got Greek food, and in 5 minutes you had your gyro and you were eating your dinner.
Yeah, it was really
And
good.
20 minutes after you were done eating dinner, I got mine.
Yeah.
And it was a very disappointing,
Not
spicy, very creamy, very little curry, dry chicken, butter chicken, and breasts, not thighs. So, what a bummer. But that's okay. That was my pet peeve. If you're going to say something, if it's thighs, great. If it's spicy, perfect. But don't blow smoke up my butt.
Yeah.
That's all I got. What about you?
Ugh. I had to go to UPS today to print a case that I've been working on, and I was there for 2.5, almost 3 hours, standing in this little UPS store, trying to make sure everything got printed correctly.
We're going back tomorrow.
We're going back tomorrow, and then the last thing I needed to do after spending 2 hours getting everything printed and hole punched and put in the binder and all that stuff, I want to put everything on a thumb drive and put that in the binder and mail it off, and I get like 98% of the files, or like body camera footage, over to the thumb drive. My computer locks up, crashes basically. It just locks up, so I have to reboot it, do a hard start, and nothing transferred over. So I go get another thumb drive, thinking it might be the thumb drive. Put second, same thing. So that's my pet peeve, is when technology does not work.
Yeah, it should. We landed on the moon, for God's sake.
Allegedly.
All right, that's for another episode. All right, thanks everybody. It's nice to chit chat with you. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.